Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is going to be my review for Married at First Sight Season 13, Episode 10. The Foolishness Locked Out continues. Okay, I cannot believe what happened in this episode. So let's get this girl, fiction voice. Let's just get to it. Y'all already know to do a couple of different things. Y'all know to one, like my video. No, girl. Subscribe to my channel. To become a JayBird, dun, and all that goodness and stuff. Y'all know I want y'all to also like the video, comment in the comment section. You can share this video on your social media by hitting share. Okay. Y'all know, follow me on social media at J_Lees_corner, which is on IG, but on Twitter is JayLeesCorner. So again, like and subscribe. I'm trying to kind of hurry up because the ladies first panel starts in about 30 minutes, and I want to get this recorded today, Thursday, so I can have it up by Friday morning because it's been a crazy day. Let's get to the couples. Yeah, help and escape. Okay, help and escape immediately out the nearest exit. Okay, please leave. Exit stage left. You are with a psycho. Okay, but let's get into she Brett, he Ryan. Okay, I feel like it's the same thing with them. She likes him. He doesn't like her. He wants to like her, but he wants to feel these butterflies and these feelings that I'm looking like, but bro, for what? It's like how it's been like 3 weeks of this spending time or whatever. And if you're telling yourself you don't feel something, you won't feel it because you're telling yourself you don't feel this magical butterfly. Ain't no butterflies in your stomach, sir. And that's not how all love starts, sir. It's bull of the shit. Now, I have reservations about her, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't know. I am stuck in a spot of not feeling attracted to her, even though I want to. No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd be trying to do that. And for she Brett, she feel like, you know, I've always been in these situations where the person, really isn't sure if they like me. So this feels too familiar to make me sad. And I'm like, whatever. And she tells, he Ryan, if you don't feel it, then you don't feel it. Okay. And that's what it is. And when Dr. V talks, Dr. Viviana was there. And when she talks to Ryan alone, he's still saying how, she's so anxious or whatever, and I'm so calm. So I'm always having to be the calm person, always have to calm her down. It's just signals being stupid. I have to calm her down. So sometimes I don't feel like doing that or whatever. And, I just want to have this feeling of being excited to come home and kiss my wife and, be with her. And I just want this exciting feeling. And Dr. V said, first of all, that's some fairy tale shit. That is some Hollywood movie. You're gonna always have this butterfly. No, that don't really happen all the time in real life. You're gonna fuck around and end up single. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. And it's true. Okay. Now when she Brett meets up with Michaela, the chit chat or whatever, she brings up how, things are just weird. He left, whatever, he went back to his house because he needed some space, and he doesn't do anything to show me that he likes me. Well, at least she's paying attention to the signs of him being an asshole, okay? But she's like, it's like if we weren't married and we were dating, I would have already broken up with him. Well, you can always divorce him. You got time. It's okay. Now he come back to the house 2 days later and tells her how he really wants to stay, make this marriage work. He needed a whole reset, and he did that at his own house or whatever. Now he's in it, hoping to get feelings for her. Ryan getting my goddamn nerves. Anyway, let's go on to Johnny and Val, because the main thing of this episode was really Michaela and Zach, and then um Jose and Rachel. I want to get to them because everybody else, it wasn't that much. So Johnny and Val or whatever, they was answering questions, and one of them was a question about, what's something that's been like embarrassing to you in your life. And Bob brought up how she grew up really poor, and then how when she got the school bus, she walked past her house so people would not know where she stayed at or whatever, because her house was like a dilapidated trailer or whatever, and how the kids would tease her, not tease her, the kids would tell her their parents did not want them hanging out with her because her father was like the town drunk. So again, that all embarrassed her as a child. And Johnny's just happy that she's one opening up to him, and so it's helping them bond. They had a good time this whole episode. They was kissing and hugging and playing games or whatever. They played roll the dice and do what you do, and they had that was really it. We know they had sex, okay, and she wants more sex, and he said, okay, that's great, okay. So again, Johnny and Bao, that's really all that it was. But again, we see them growing and bonding. We see them both letting their guards down. So it's good to see that, but that don't need much conversation. Again, right now they are both in a good place. They both are happy with each other sexually. And again, Ba was being more open and not being so guarded how she was like episode 1, episode 2. But again, we'll see if that continues and whatnot. Okay, let's get on over to Mila and Gil. There was a little bit too, we're meeting with Dr. V, and she was at, because Dr. V met with like each couple and just talking to them about their intimacy, their connections or whatever, and emotions and things like that. So we're talking to Mirla and Gil. I'm calling her Mirla. With Mirla and Gil, when she asked them to rate their emotional intimacy, Mirla said a 7. Now he said an 8, but he was surprised that she said that. But again, fine, fine, fine. No, not that time. When they asked about the physical intimacy and she said a 7, that's when Gil, he was like, really, a 7? Okay. But she said it's because I'm comfortable where we are. So for me, it's a 7. And he said a 5. We said like we hug. I kissed her on the cheek before. I've kissed her forehead, but that's really it or whatever. Like we cuddle. So he brings up how he really isn't trying to make any moves on her because he feel like she said that she isn't ready. She takes things slow, so he does not even want to attempt to go further with her. Every time I see a woman go down, he does not want to go further with her because he feel like she may reject him, and he don't want her to reject him because she isn't ready, which would then make him feel rejected, which can then make him not want to even try with her. So for him, he like, I don't even cross that boundary because again, I don't want to feel rejected, and then it's the whole thing. So I said, well, that's smart, smart, smart. He do ask her if she feel like kissing is the exact same thing as having sex. And she says, well, yes, it is. Like for me, I'm not out here just randomly kissing random strangers. He said, well, I'm not a random stranger. I'm your husband. Okay, is what I am. And she brings about, well, I need to be like spiritually, emotionally, and mentally connected before any type of intimacy can really happen between me and anyone else. And then I think either she asked him, no, he asked her, well, do you feel like we've done that? And she says, well, yeah, I do. I think we have done that for sure. But maybe you feel different. He said, well, no, like for me, you told me that you want us to have kids, you want to have a future with me, you want us to get a home, but again, you won't kiss me. So for me, your word don't hold no substance because what you're saying to me doesn't match your actions. Okay, so words don't mean shit right now and whatever. Um, he's like, I feel like we should not even be sitting here at this point having this kind of conversation because we should be past this point, and it's kind of crazy that we aren't. But again, it is what it is. Um, she brings up how for her, I'm trying to make my phone stop beeping, but I know it's gonna keep beeping because it's the girls talking. But she brings up how for her that she isn't, really even worried about them getting divorced because, like, so he should not say, you know, I may divorce her at the end. And he said, look, but that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? For me, if you kiss me, we won't get no divorce. But however, if we get to the end, you have not kissed me, I'm going to ask for the divorce. Okay. And so she said, well, I will kiss you eventually. Okay, we will see how that goes. Now, for them, at the end of the episode, when all the couples are together, both Gil and Mira tell the couples how they have kissed. It was like 2 days after this has happened. They were in the kitchen or whatever, and then she just reached up and she kissed them. And she brought up how she made the first move because she knew she wanted to kiss him. She knew she was getting there, and we can see that she likes him. We can see that she wants to be with him. Her body language is very comfortable with Gil, but you can see that she was just waiting to kiss him, so she did. And she said, because I knew he would make the first move because he said that, I made sure to do this. So they've kissed a couple times on the lips. or whatever. So again, I did not want her to feel like she had to sleep with him, but I did want her to feel connected enough to kiss her husband. So I'm happy that that has happened. They both seem happy about that. Jose and Rachel. So Dr. V come over, whatever. Um, I'm so upset with these two. I want to get to the well, it was more with them with Gil and Mirla, but they kids, it doesn't really matter. It was one part where they had questions to answer, and I'll do this part. And they had to say what they love, like what they love and need, and what they are challenged out of the other one. And she said how she loves waking up to him every morning. She needs his continued patience, and she is also challenged by his patience. And he said he loves her compassion. He needs to feel desired by her, and he is challenged by her lack of intimacy. But again, at the end they kissed, so again they did good. Now on to these two. This motherfucker right here, this motherfucker right here, I hope her daddy come beat his ass. I hope her, not beat his ass. I just hope her daddy come and, handle things that need to be handled because he on BS. Okay, he is on some complete BSness and he is aggravating me and my homegirls and me and my homegirls, me, myself, and I. So Dr. B came over to talk to him or whatever. Ask, Asking them about their sexual intimacy and all these things. Again, they doing it. Okay, they are both. They were embarrassed to have the conversation because I'm like, but you need my details. But they both agree that they are having great sex and it's good. It's fine, fine, fine. So she also asked them about them trusting each other, and they both say how they trust each other and it's fine, fine, fine. So we see that it's good, good. We trust each other. We love each other. We have great sex. Things are good, good, good. Well, Jose then say, we have an issue. It's like it's a different day. And we were up hanging out on the roof or whatever, and she called me by another man's name. And they were hanging out supposedly with another couple. Okay. And she accidentally called him another man's name. Now we find out later she called him Johnny. So it's not like she called him Ramon or someone that isn't someone that's in the group. She mistakenly said Johnny's name and not his. And so he's safe for that. He's pissed off. He's mad, mad, mad. Now we see them arguing. The little footage of them in the house is them two and then the producer. And, he's mad. I can't believe you called me somebody else's name. Da, 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 da. She's like, but I genuinely said sorry. I did not mean to do it. I said sorry. Well, you didn't do it good enough or whatever. You saying, and I'm not your boyfriend or whatever. We married. She says, right. So is this how you talk to your wife in a marriage? And saying I would not allow anyone to speak to me like this. And he was being a complete asshole. He really was. Um, and he then said, out of his own mouth, when she said, I would not allow you to speak to me like that as your wife, he said, well, then fuck you. Get the fuck out, pack your bags and bounce. I was like, really? And she was like, okay, the fuck? And she said, okay, so I want to know, like, who am I married to? Like, am I married to, like, this person right here, or am I married to the person who's like, happy wife, happy life? Jose was a complete and utter asshole in how he was talking to her. I am extremely happy that it was cameras there. I'm also happy that the producer was sitting there because you're pissed off because she called you fucking Johnny, Bow's husband. She don't want to fuck Johnny. And not only that, you've only known her for 3 weeks. Y'all have not been married for 3 years, or what? She's known you for 3 weeks, and while talking, she said someone else's name who you also know. Why are you pissed off? Why are you that pissed off to be so rude to tell her to get the fuck out and then fuck you? I was like, really? And I feel like for him, because the cameras weren't sitting, because the cameras that caught it was like the security cameras. So it wasn't a camera in their face during this argument. So I feel like in the scene, he may not even know we seen this argument. Okay. So she's like, who are you? I don't even know. He then said, I don't have time to talk about this bullshit all night because I have things to do in the morning. So get out. And I was like, motherfucker, that's not you ain't paying not near bill and that ain't your house. They got y'all that apartment for you to try to tell her to get out as if it was your house. And that's why she don't want to live with you. Because if she moves into your house, look how you acted in the Married at First Sight house. Y'all wasn't even in your house. Okay? Jose is a fucking psychopath. He's sadistic. How he sat there and got that upset over something so minimal to me shows that's why you single, because you're fucking insane. Anyway, the following day, she's like, I'm not gonna put up with that behavior because he's acting like it's cool. He'll pick up at cooking. How was your day? She was like, the fuck? Last night was not okay. Okay, and I feel like he don't realize they caught how he was acting on camera because he's acting like no one knows how much of an asshole he was. Okay, and she's like, the way you did things, the way you handled things last night, that shit was not okay at the all. Okay, he like, oh well, apparently I guess not, but not apparently. Not apparently. I was like, oh, he's plucking at my fucking nerves. Okay. She then brings up how, well, first of all, based on your actions, I can't trust you. Okay, because not only did you act a fucking fool on me, you then locked me out of the apartment at night, and I had to go around knocking on other people's doors because you locked me out. We then see him at like a quarter, like 12:30 at night, locking the deadbolt lock on the door, and then we see her banging on the door like one, and we then see her knocking on like Gil and Miller's door, I think Ryan and Brett's door, because he locked her out. He then say, "Well, you called me out by somebody else's name. You then left, and I didn't know where you were. I was upset or whatever. And because I did not know what to do, she's like, I left, but you knew I walked the producer downstairs who was sitting here with us, okay? And I did not take anything with me. You knew." Because as he's talking and saying, well, I didn't know where you went. He's laughing, he's smiling because now look, he purposely locked this lady out the house and went to bed and then did not even care of where she was. How do you not care where your wife is? The fuck, okay? Jose is sadistic because you can't tell me you didn't hear her knocking on the door. How do you not care where she is at that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where you were. And so because she's telling him how she feels and he's being so fucking flippant, she's like, you know what? I can't be your wife. I can't do this. Okay. He just, okay, makes sense. I'll go. You can say there's some boxes in the other room if you want to pack. Okay, I'm going to go pack now. Now the producer's asking him like, what's going on? Well, that's on her. She made the decision to, to want divorce, whatever. So I'm not going, beg her. I'm like, Jose is a complete asshole. He's a complete asshole, and she's in the room with other producers. Like, I just do want to. I don't want to leave things open ended. I want to ask the questions because I feel some kind of way. So she come back. She's like, I want to get everything out that I feel. And so she had been writing down things the past couple of weeks that she should notice about him that she wanted to read off so that she can say, okay, at least I got it all off my chest. And so she brings up how, it just seems like you're controlling. It seemed like, you don't want to compromise. You came into this with your own plan for what you wanted for your marriage. And you just wanted a person in that place, but you don't care about what I want. You have your plan and that's what it is. You just want someone in that spot. And so, that's not what I wanted. He then say, well, if everything was great the whole time, why would you not tell me this? Why would you have this whole written out story? If things are so good, why would you? The fact that she said I was writing things down as things were happening because I was trying to, gather my fucking thoughts, motherfucker. And then as he's talking, she's like, but you're still not taking any accountability for why I felt these ways. Because what she's saying was true. He is controlling. He really, really is. And it got worse, us seeing this. This completely showed him for the fucking insane asshole that he is, okay? And then he said, well, I don't want to convince her or convince you to stay in this marriage. I don't want to say sorry just for you to stay. I was like, she's like, but not saying sorry all this time for little itty bitty shit is what was making it worse. So there's no resolve. Okay. However, we see all the couples meet up, the guys with the guys, the girls with the girls, and he's telling the guys what happened. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? She called me by somebody else's name, and we then got into it or whatever. And then some kind of way I accidentally locked her out by putting the deadbolt on the door. They was like, you can't accidentally deadbolt a door. Like, that's not, you don't accidentally do that. No. So he was making it seem like it was nothing really big or whatever. So he like, and for some reason she said, she wanted a divorce, and it was like something don't sound right. Like he isn't telling the full story. The men all knew Jose was full of shit, and told him, "You fucked up." Period. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a reason that she wanted a divorce. I don't know why she said she was. I have no idea. I don't know. That was like she called you Johnny. It wasn't a big issue. Okay. You overreact to that. And now this is what it is. And he then said, well, I still love her. I text her today and told her I still love her. It was simple because I do. And she's telling the girls how I don't love him no more. I don't trust him, whatever. I don't even know if I can build up to be back to love him again after who he showed me that he was. Help, run, escape. Okay? Help, run, escape. Anyway, let's get on to Zach and Michaela. I just keep forgetting that this is there. So this is to me saying that either of them should run. I haven't changed the graphic. So Dr. V comes to talk to them, and she's asking them what their trust level is. And Michaela brings up hers is like 50% based on, there are a few times where he'll say they're going to do something and then he blows it off. Case in point, they were supposed to watch a movie and then he was going to go to his house to get his Apple TV. He got to his house, and because, as he said, it was late, he just called her and said, like, it's late or whatever. I'm going to just stay here. Okay, I'm going to stay here, and, we can do it tomorrow. So she said that did make her, she was disappointed in that. And but she did not overreact. So that's an example of him saying they're gonna do something that he does something different. Now he say for him, he like, if she tell me she gonna do something, I do believe her. However, she's done things to where I don't like it, so I don't really trust her to not blow up. And let me say this: I feel like each of them are right in how they feel. She has the right to feel like he will say we're gonna do something and we don't do it. So that's her fact. That's a whole full-fledged fact. However, he can also say she's blown up enough times that I don't yet trust her to not blow up. Even if she did not blow up this last time right now, I can't be sure that she won't do it later yet, because she usually does. So one time of her not doing it doesn't cancel out the few times that she has. So again, they both have the right to feel how neither of them are wrong in this at this point right now. So she also brought up how, when he holds on to things, like I forgive or whatever, he holds on to things. He holds grudges, which he does. Um, and he said, well, for me, I'm just scarred by how you react to things or whatever. Zach is emotional as fuck. He is extremely emotional, okay? And, for her, she's like, I feel uncomfortable that maybe, like, if I make him feel that way, if I make him feel so uncomfortable, then we shouldn't be together. Okay. And then for him, he's like, well, I feel like neither one of us are right or wrong. We just both handle things differently. I think they're both saying the exact same thing in different ways. She don't like how he handles her as far as um, kind of blowing her off. She don't like how he does that. He don't like how she handles things when she's upset. They're both saying the same thing about each other. How they both do not like how the other one does things. The difference is Michaela doesn't want to just leave the marriage, or Michaela doesn't feel like the marriage is over, and Zach does, because Zach's too fucking emotional. Um, it was a lot of back and forth between them or whatever with this whole issue, and at the end of the day, I like how Dr. V said, Zach, you cannot feel like she has to be perfect in what she does. Neither one of y'all are perfect away, and you have to kind of accept that neither of y'all are perfect or whatever. And then when Michaela brings up how she feels beaten down by how he will continually say that she won't change how she reacts to things, he's now sad about that. Okay, so again, a lot of back and forth about them. How he does not like how she reacts, and she don't like how he blows her off. Again, it's the same conversation with both of them, or more Zach not wanting to acknowledge it's okay that you don't like something that she does, but that does not mean that it's over. That's his immaturity in my eyes. Cause he's 27. So Zach grow the fuck up or whatever. And Dr. V, like, look, y'all both have to try to make it work and not give up. Zach, you, okay. But also with Michaela, because he feel like she won't change. She feel like, okay, we should not do it. So they both, it's on bullshit for me, for both of them. They can make it if they try. Now, when Dr. V leave, and then Zach and Michaela talk separately, he's crying. I just feel so bad. I wanted this to work so much. How do I beat you down? Like, how? I'm like, the fuck are you crying for? I'm like, why is he crying so hard? What the fuck is going on? I was confused. So, but I also get he's crying because he's emotional, and those are his. Everyone has to feel validated in whatever their emotions are. Sometimes let a person cry that shit out. Let them get it out. Just let them talk and rant and rave, and do whatever. As long as he is not disrespecting you and being aggressive towards you, let him emote, on his own, and just sit there with him and let him do it. And if he walks away, let him walk away. And y'all can come back up and talk later, because guess what? He says what he says. And I'm just, I don't want to hurt anybody. I feel horrible. I don't want this to not work, and I just don't know. I don't understand. I was like, I'm over it, Zach. I am over it. Now later on, and then go for a little swim or whatever together to basically talk things out. So they were given a task to write down questions, blindfold the other one to answer the questions, have an honest conversation. So they were getting along great, swimming and having fun or whatever. And he asked her, "What did you first like about me?" And she said, "Your face." What are you sorry for? And she said, "Not being able to express myself and my quick reactions." Okay. And then, "What would you change about him?" And she said, "The time that he holds on to things that he doesn't like," meaning the fact he holds the grudge. So again, he said, "You think I hold grudges?" She's like, "Well, yes, I do think you hold grudges." And he kind of laughed it off and kind of pushed her, not like a little funny, girl, okay. So, "What do you miss about me?" And she said, "The happy person that you were when I met you." And I can agree. Zach was much happier before he got COVID. um, Excuse me, since COVID, since they've had to be around each other, he isn't happy. And she seems to want to be happy with him, but he isn't there yet. So again, that's the whole thing. So she then asked him while he's blindfolded, what do I need from you? Because they're asking each, I don't know. But he said, "I need understanding, where I need you to understand where I'm coming from when we argue, and just to kind of understand my point." And I will say this: understanding someone's point does not mean that you agree with them. It means you hear what they're saying, and you understand what they're saying, even if you don't agree with what the fuck they saying. But whatever. And then, "Do you like me for me?" He said yes. And she said, "Oh, okay." He said, "You didn't know I like you?" She was like, "Sometimes I don't know how you feel." He was like, "Even now?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know how you feel." And then he's saying, like, "Well, how did you know I liked you, like, from day one?" She said, "Yeah, then, yeah, like, now I don't know." He like, "Well, I want you to know that I do like you." She's like, "Okay, cool." And then um she said, wait a minute, y'all. Um, so then her last question was, "Do you see our future together?" And then he said, "Well, Right now, it's doubtful, but I'm holding out hope for it. And I was like, the fuck? And I'm like, that's confusing because you're telling her that you like her. And she then said, well, I didn't know you liked me. I didn't know. Then for you to reiterate how much you do like her, but then say that you are doubtful about your future, even though you have hope. I'm like, that's fucking confusing, Zach. They can work. They can, but I do need Zach to stop being so fucking emotional and I need him to grow up. He cannot keep thinking she won't change at all because I feel like that's just who she is. However, I do agree. That's how she reacts to shit. Can it change? Yes, but it's not going to change tomorrow. No one changes overnight. So I do feel like her saying, I want you to believe I can change. It's true. He should believe that she will change. However, she has to be honest and saying, but I'm not going to be changed by tomorrow. So I'm going to probably blow up a little bit more. So the question is, if that's his end goal to not be with her because she may blow up, well, then leave her alone. But don't make it seem like, well, I do like you. I do. But then say, I'm doubtful if we have a future. I was like, Zach, fuck you. Don't do that. Crazy ass people. Anyway, that's my whole review. The ladies first panel starts in 7 minutes. So let me go. Do not forget to comment in the comment section, like this video, share it on your social media, and I will talk to y'all later. I will see you when I see you. Peace.